Looks like all systems go. Alright. Got a new stream going for today. Alright. So, I pretty much got everything done that I wanted to get done in the project. Except, last night it occurred to me that there's one feature that I need to add. New Game Plus. If I add New Game Plus right now, the game completely supports it, by the way. If I add that right now, it allows for a huge, like, amount more content. Well, not content, more gameplay. In other words, like, having a system like that in place as early as possible, you'll be able to actually play through a second time, but it's on a harder difficulty, third time, fourth time, fifth time. I think, well, like, it's not too hard that I can set this up. I can have it working, and I can even make it so that different stuff spawns the second time around. So, like, once you're in New Game Plus mode, you're pretty much in Ultra Violence, and then I can make the first part of the game a little bit easier in some ways, and not feel guilty about it. So, I can get all that in place, but there's some cleanup work that I need to do in the Dark Base, which is the first level of the game, the first true level of the game. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Oh, there's really no about it. Some of this stuff needs to be cleaned up pretty badly. Like, this big door is a mess. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Right now I have like door meshes. I have like doors where you can kind of peek through the sides and stuff like that. It's not right. Some flow issues that I can actually address. I can open this up so that it's not a door. That way, there's also a possibility that, like, I don't know, I might be able to add like an ambush where a couple of things spawn behind you. Not really a good idea though. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking out loud at the moment, but that's what this is pretty much all set up. So I'm going to be doing some level design work, right? And then once I get this all cleaned up, because there's like weird stuff going on that shouldn't be a problem, shouldn't be going on. And this is all cleaned up, and I'm gonna add a new object in. Basically, clean all of your progress tags, and then add a New Game Plus variable to the player controller. And then I'm gonna go to each and every one of the spawns, and I'm gonna have each and every one of the spawns check to see what your New Game Plus status is. And based on that, I can start spawning monsters that are, like, every time your New Game Plus goes up one, the monsters are 10 levels higher, right? And then that's so easy to modify. So, like, if I add more content as far as, like, more stuff to fight later on, like, I add this lift here, and you go up here, and then you do all this fighting, and you go back through this way, and you know, that gets you up to level 15, and then I add a New Game Plus at the end of this, then I can make it so that the monsters start 15 levels higher. So every time you play through this, you know, you gain about 10 levels. So with that said, yeah, time to clean up some of this stuff. Some of this mess. I like the idea of having a doorway here, but I'm thinking I'm gonna add like a side door over here, and then like this is just closed. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and like close this. It's like Nintendo music, Monster Cat. So, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's really it. Oh, yeah, the game's fully functional right now. Like, I even have a title screen and everything. Like, I'll probably do some tweaks to that, but tonight's gonna be the day tonight will be when I get the demo ready, I think. because the New Game Plus stuff isn't really going to be that hard to implement. Well, oh shit, did I jinx it? Fuck. Didn't want to jinx it. Didn't want to jinx it. But, okay. There is some weird stuff that happens in this level where it's like, there's no lighting and stuff like that, but I'm not worried about that because I can fix all that stuff. Oh shit, I just realized if I'm gonna do any testing on this level, I might actually have to play through a little bit of the game so I can get some gear. Actually, this will be pretty interesting. I'll put a dev bubble over here. A dev bubble will get me what I need. So, alright. So spawn point, entities, spawning. These are exactly the things that I need to. So loop spawn. Alright. And you're gonna be a dev bubble. Let's see if it's listed. Never listed. That is beyond weird. I guess because there's so many different container types, it just like doesn't list them all. Here's a dev case. Alright, I'll lock the level at 1, which is probably not a good idea. Actually, let me lock the level at 3. Because I already have a trigger volume that levels you up all the way over here. This little guy. I'm just tracking this trigger volume all the way over. Why is it rotating? Alright. So this is the, like, if you don't have any progress tags starting location. Alright, so let's see, what level is this gonna bump me up to? You were gonna bump me up to, no? Oh no, did I unhook it? Shit, I might have unhooked it. Why would I do that? What a waste of time. Did I just assume that I was never gonna use it again? Huh. Oh well. Time to get it in. I'll just do it again. Okay, add event, collision, begin overlap. Check to see if it's the player. If it's the player, then set level. Hold on, there's something vaguely. I vaguely remember having to do something else to this as well. So like maybe, oh yeah, I have one of these things in the hub area. The hub will see. Yeah, there it is. Is this it right here? Yeah, okay, cool. I can just copy that. No, not open asset. No! No! Is that window still there? Okay, it's not. All thumbs right now. Alright, so level 1, Dark Base. It even bumps me to level 3. It's supposed to. Is that a fly? Oh my god, there's a fly in here. Fuck you, fly. Alright, grab this, make a reference to it so that it destroys itself for me. It doesn't check. Yeah, I have to be careful about that because it doesn't check progress tags. So I could potentially like reset my level back to 3 if I walk into that corner. Whatever though. This is just specifically for development purposes. So. Should probably just make myself like level 5 or something. Fuck it. Level 5? Nah. If it's 3, it'll be a little bit more of a challenge. You usually get to this point at about level 3. Alright. So with that said, alright, let me see. Alright, I'm level 3. Ah, that was loud. Shotgun, assault rifle, broad axe. Okay, I'm gonna go with an auto pistol. Yeah.
This is extraordinary.
Submachine gun, I haven't used that in forever. Lightning gun. I should probably have like the plasma rifle or something instead of the lightning gun. I always end up getting the lightning gun. Alright. A slight amount of crafting materials. I'm gonna lose if I die. Where's the minigun? Oh, there you are. Alright. Alright. How's it going, Mr. Gunslinger? Alright. I don't know if the music's too loud. It's actually on my headphones, it's like coming through really loud. Alright, yeah. How's that? Is that better? It's a lot better for me. Because, like, for me it was coming in pretty loud, so it's probably still a bit... Oh. There we go. That's probably about right. I don't really want it to be, like, super loud. Of course, I, you know, start the stream off really loud. Alright. No bullet impacts. I should probably put something on this material so that it has bullet impacts. Let's see. What do I think of this area? Right now, like, it's a little iffy because there's a couple of things that are bugging me about the way I'm doing the flow right now that I gotta... Like, the first time I force you to use the travel, the travel network, that was loud. The first time I force you to use this, like, I think a lot of people are gonna think that they have to go to the sanctuary because it's the only area that's I don't know. It might have to. I might have to do a thing where it checks to see like if the area that you already are, and not let you go there. Anyway, so that's working now. I know I can test the level. Alright, I'm gonna make this like a large closed door, and then I'm gonna put a doorway right here instead. So I'm gonna get rid of this section.
The butterflies on my insides have all gone away. You're not danger, but I'm here to stay.
Ah, the game sounds are loud again too.
Fall even deeper in the lies, they don't keep me away. You wanna know my secrets, so you keep.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not really sure how to hear my sounds. I guess I'd probably fix it a little bit, or at least find something that works and just stick to it. Let's see. It seems to be okay right now. Seems to be okay right now. Let's see, minigun. It's kind of loud, but it's not like... It's not going above halfway, really. My voice is going above halfway. My voice usually comes in pretty loud. So the minigun sounds about that volume. Like, I went through and I did all of the sounds, hooked up all of the sounds to the options menu and stuff. Oops. Effects are at half. When did I do that? Uh-oh. That's a bad sign. Because the volume makes a big difference. Jesus. What the hell is up with the sounds in this? It's like loud as hell. Well, I guess I'll be putting effects down halfway. What the fuck? That bothers me though, that it's not correct at full volume. That's actually that's actually showing the tracer rounds. The effects, the impact effects actually could be hooked up to the material system, but trying to remember why. Oh, because they don't have physical material applied. So it's like content browser. Let's see. Design tools, materials. Now if this has a physical material applied to it, which I'll probably just make cement or something. Concrete large. That'll do it. Now that that's on there, you'll actually see impact effects, the proper impact effects. Yeah, the raw sounds, I guess they really are. It's just like fucking ultra loud. I mean, they're borderline too loud just from the fucking no, they're borderline loud just just the files themselves. Like, I don't know. And it's supposed to turn the volume down by default by like 0.75. All right. So I'm going to add. I'm gonna move this down to here, back where it was before. I'm gonna close this off, and I need to have places for where the map stations are gonna go. The map stations are gonna come in later, though. I'll probably have those in like next week or something like that. That'll be for when you unlock the auto map and stuff. Because I actually kind of feel a little bit like the auto map would play a pretty big role in people like just kind of thinking that whether or not the game is like legit, like old school. It's like, does it have an auto map? No? Oh well, I guess it's just not old school. Let's see. I'm gonna make you 12. About half. It's a little bit more. I don't know why that's split up into two. Let's see. I'm gonna need to move the content browser over here. Go graphics, geometry, tech. And I'm gonna start adding in the door frames and the doors. Maybe start looking at this unlit. Not an angle, but I want a curve. Grab this. Oh. 45. This ends up being kind of a waste because once I start artying it out, I just rip all this shit out. Well, some of it I don't actually rip out, but these small details like this they don't stay. Once I start arting, like these small details get taken out pretty much right away. I just delete them because I'm just gonna put something else instead. Alright, that doesn't conflict with that. Alright, so what this kind of does is I wish I can kind of mark this as sort of looking a little bit different, but it's just temporary anyway at the moment. I have to be more focused on just making sure that this area is working correctly, and that the flow for the fights and stuff is set up correctly. 5. And I'm gonna probably make this thinner. Alright. Alright, and then I get a door here. So that changes significantly how you enter this area. It also kind of makes this a little, feel a little bit more off to the side. It's not like there's a lot that goes on when a player enters a new area, they have to kind of familiarize themselves with it a little bit. There's kind of a worry, you know, whether or not you're going to get attacked. They don't know. So there's also like a tendency to only look forward. People tend to do that. So you look this way, you see some boxes, maybe, boom, and then now I can get away with putting the, oh, yeah, that actually, not here. The best place for the for this is gonna be right here in front of this closed door now. So like it faces you in the correct direction. It faces you forward. All right. That solves that. And then I'll put the map station will be up here. I need to start worrying about where those are going to be placed. For unlocking the auto map. Hopefully I can get that in this month. I'll have, because I got a lot of stuff to worry about. But, alright. So now, I got this hooked up. This is about the right... when you're looking at a block mesh, you can never rely on the lighting. I think maybe it needs to be one more over. Yeah, so that's about equal. Oh, Z fighting, great. Yep, back to where it was. Wait, maybe I can do, nope. Back to where it was. That'll do anyway. Oh, Z fighting on this side. Damn it. Hate that. Why? Why is there gonna be Z fighting? I'll go to great lengths to fucking fight Z fighting. Alright. Okay, so this is a door with an actual frame. And I'm gonna go to entities, doors, and just place the base door, because that's what I've been placing lately. Copy the location, place this, paste. The door is now in the frame correctly. And there's no required tags. Got it. That's a little messed up. Maybe I'll move this just a little bit more. This red circle indicates like if there's monsters there, it'll cancel the channeling process, so that you can't just run to one of these while there's monsters attacking you and like save your life. If there's monsters that are too close, it prevents you from using it. Alright, so yeah, now I gotta do these as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and just delete all these. I went through all the extra trouble to place these things, but yeah, it was nice while it was a thing. It's not a thing anymore. These are also the wrong object. Yeah, these are supposed to be door large. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna
If you'd like to hear your voice on the show next week, check out monstercat.com/COTW and leave us a message.
grab this, drag it over. So in New Game Plus mode, I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be interesting and relatively easy to implement, actually, because a lot of the stuff I have in place already supports it. And that way, you'll be able to, you know, continuously play through the same content. You'll be able to do the demo more than once, and it'll be harder each time. Both by spawning different things the first time you go into New Game Plus, it'll spawn new things, but it'll also prevent certain things from spawning, and it'll level everything up by a certain amount. Okay. There we go. That looks like a good position. Copy. Edit. Paste. So now there's a sort of for me, controversial, like not controversial for other people, but for me, it's kind of like a thing where I'm kind of going back and forth on the idea that I lock these doors until you use, like I'm doing a thing right now where I lock so that you can't just progress past a fast travel location. And that prevents you from going too far. Like if you skip this and you just keep running forward, it'll bump you all the way back to the very beginning. But I mean, should I even worry about that? Should I just like let the player fuck themselves? Like, this is sort of supposed to be kind of like in the Dark Souls vein. So maybe like if you're not paying attention and you don't activate a fast travel spot, then that's your fault, right? Like, should I try to coddle the player, or should I just be like, well, you were paying attention, right? And then leave it at that. Like, I don't know. I'm a little worried about people, like, but then again, like, how much do I want to care about people like that? I want those kinds of people to be like complaining on the forums or something. Your game's too hard. I died and it started me over at the beginning. Never baby the player. And so, hey, Soul Release. Yeah, maybe I just won't. I mean, it's not a Dark Souls thing. Dark Souls doesn't baby. Well, that's not true. Dark Souls 3 does baby you a little bit. They are careful about certain things. They don't let you wander off in random directions without having some kind of like warning. I guess it's not babying, it's not coddling. Yeah, let me compile this. How's it going? You get used to it. Actually, it's pretty interesting. You get addicted to it. I'm not kidding. Like, so like I'm so comfortable with the platform that I'm working with right now that only like if I'm doing something that I'm completely unfamiliar with would I like avoid streaming myself doing it, but pretty much everything that I'm doing right now is just water under the bridge. I can do it while I'm juggling, for fuck's sake. Trying to muster up the courage to work on my own stuff. What kind of stuff are you working on? It does and it doesn't, because sometimes I'll be like thinking about stuff and then somebody will mention an idea and I'll be like, oh shit, that's a good idea. That happened yesterday actually. I was like trying to like script the ability to use the mouse wheel to swap between weapons, and like I didn't even know about what's called an integer switch, which was like one node that does like what I was trying to do with like 15 nodes or something. It was pretty fucked up. And they were like, why don't you just use a switch? I'm like, what's that? And I type in switch and I pull this thing out. I'm like, oh, whoa. Well, we could talk in private about all this stuff, all the ideas I've got for mine. Dude, I know. My 10-year-old nephew comes up with amazing ideas. But not like that. Imaginative. Not like based on knowledge of the engine. Yeah. Was it you who showed me that? It was you. Yes. Who was it? Who else was it, though? There was somebody else who was like... There was two people. I'll have to... Oh, no. No. It was two people, and one of them was like... Oh, my brain sucks. I need caffeine. And I thank you for that, by the way, very much. Well, you were the one who showed it to me, or you mentioned it, right? And then, but it was one other person who asked about it. It was like, don't you have isn't there like a type of switcher that you can use or something? I was like, and then I went off and started talking about something else. McCafe, McDonald's coffee brewing right now. You say that often and need caffeine. Go and make it, man. We won't leave. Well, I gotta get some of this in place. Because I just started. Let's see. Where is the warning window that sat there and bothered to tell me about all those null references? Why did it get rid of it? Like, I need to know those things. I want to get rid of nulls. Alright, there they are. Alright. Cancel. Cancel. Are you serious? Show. Alright, thank you. Alright. Where is this? There we go. Yeah, there's some nulls going on here. I don't want nulls.
To vote for a future throwback, head to live.monstercat.com during our stream and check your vote in.
I would team view it for you. I trust with all this shit. Yeah, I mean, is it Unreal 4? Like, what are you working on? What's the nature of the actual project? Why isn't it selecting the nulls? I guess if I already delete the null. Alright. I trust you with all of this. Well, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm too busy trying to implement my own stuff right now. Although I am a little guilty of one thing. My imp looks an awful lot like a Doom imp. It was mentioned in the comments. Wait, who was it that said that? It was pretty funny. It was like, dude, your imp looks like an imp. Maybe you want to do something about that. Goodsman's Ghost. He goes, the imp is way too doomy. You don't want to accidentally have to dance the copyright infringement dance. That is a crazy dance. I'd prefer not to. I'm probably just gonna modify him so he's a little bit different, because he's like really an imp right now. It's a little too obvious. But I'm not trying to hide how obvious I'm being. I mean, this got its roots. Yo. This shit got its roots. I'm not fucking around. People be like, I'm trying to make something that's kind of like Quake and Doom. I'm making something that is like Quake and Doom. Alright? This ain't no Serious Sam. This ain't no fucking Strafe. Alright? This is pulling from it. This is pulling from the real deal. Alright, I'm stopping. Let's see, to sum it up, large-scale battles, ever-changing in enormous environments, extremely fast-paced arena shooter with just spoils of pickups, weapons and pickups, all about the gameplay, not be based in reality. Shuzberries taste like shuzberries. Isn't that snozberries? At least you're not eating elderberries. The mouth of one was way carried over. Must have been the imp. Yeah. Just a little. Just a little. Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a tiny bit. Let's see, did I fuck up any of the other walls? I think those are the only walls that I fucked up. So the new game plus is going to be right here. It's going to be an object. And you see it, and it kind of like blocks this hallway off, and it'll have like a message like begin new game plus. You reach the end of the content of the demo. You begin new game plus, and you walk into it, and it starts you over. Strips all of your progress tags, starts you over. And everything in the entire game is bumped up 10 levels. All the loot, all the monsters, everything. Toxic is pretty cool. Toxic is alright. It's just, Toxic did the problem where it didn't... It's another game that could have used single player. I know it's a little strange, but too many people right now are doing arena shooters where they're just focusing on making multiplayer, and arena shooters have a single player aspect to them, and it meshes a hell of a lot well. Like, I'm sorry, that's not very good English. A hell of it meshes very well with Dark Souls. Like, if you just look at it mechanically, arena shooters and Dark Souls are like they really should have a baby. I'm trying to make one right now. Yeah, they didn't steal. They didn't openly steal from UT. That was just, a lot of the content that they took from UT was part of the UDK development kit. So they were in the clear. Like, a lot of those assets were already in the UDK. And, I mean, anyone could have just taken those things and, like, made some new guns. That's basically what they did. It's pretty shrewd, actually. I don't view it in a negative light. It was a pretty smart way to go about things. Probably saved them a lot of time. I don't know how Epic let them do basically deck. Yeah, having the same map deck was a little strange, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's not like Epic is... I don't think Epic is, like, you know, pouring over their UT4 quite as well as they should be at the moment either. I mean, somebody should be doing something with deck. I mean, they are. I guess maybe they just haven't ramped it up, or they've taken too long to make decisions. And a lot of the stuff... You know what UT4 seems to be suffering from? Is that Epic is a big company, and big companies are really bad at implementing new concepts. Like, big companies are really fucking awesome at keeping something going and maintaining it and, like, changing it a little bit here and there, and then just keeping it going. Like, you can't beat a big company for that, right? But big companies are really bad at, like, taking a game and, like, making a new idea. It's like, don't even try. I almost actually just kind of feel like it's like, dude, just make like a small team that's kind of like a small company or something on your team, and just let them do whatever the fuck they want or something like that, because you're not going to be able to do it. If you've got owners, there's never going to be consensus. And every idea is going to look stupid. Like, it's a terrible place to do any kind of, like, prototyping and stuff like that. So I kind of wonder if that's maybe going on a little bit. That for what it is, though, they're doing very well for that environment. But I'm sorry, I'm ranting about UT4. I probably shouldn't be. I mean, it ain't like Toxic's gonna be a killer of all gamers. UT4 is free and it has deck, so it's not like they're losing money off of a deck clone. Yeah. Big companies don't want to take big risks. It's not about the risks. Big companies do want to take risks. They just can't. This is just my own personal observation about big companies. I'll get to this in a second. But the bigger the company, the more people who are in charge, or the bigger the egos of the people who are in charge. And what you end up with is a situation where it's like the people who come up with the ideas don't have enough power to implement them, and the people on the top don't really want people on the bottom to come up with ideas because they have to be the big dogs. And there's also there's politics, bureaucracy gets in the way. It really does. It's a big Titanic, right? And it may not necessarily be careening towards an iceberg, but it's a Titanic in the sense that it's got 5 steering wheels and nobody can really quite make it go in any direction. And maybe there's icebergs going by and stuff like that, but they're not nimble. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. There's actually a lot of people talking right now. Big company want to take it. They want to have a dependable formula that is reliable to be well received. That's really just what big companies are good at doing. It's really not so much what they prefer. It's just what they're good at. It would be if you had a big company who was able to implement new and interesting ideas constantly, they'd fucking milk that shit. But they're not good at doing that because of all the bureaucracy and stuff. Making UT4 free and community driven was only kind of risky. I think it's a really good idea. My thing about I keep touching on this. Arena first person shooters need single player and with multiplayer. And I'm not saying that Project Stray will have the multiplayer because I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I'm starting with single player first, right? And then I'll start moving into multiplayer. I feel like that's how you get the base. That's how you get the big base that's interested in your game, and then you can get the single. Then you get the multiplayer. Too many people look at arena shooters and they just focus entirely on multiplayer. My biggest problem with the game is the community. They moan and declare the game dead if Epic even dares try one thing, like grenade launcher. Part of the bureaucracy of a big company is also the people who are following the company too. When you have a small dev like me, nobody's bitching at me yet. Hopefully not for a long time. But the fewer people you have, the less moaning you're generally going to have. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll have people moaning at me. But when you focus on single player, it's more about a vision, and people kind of are more interested in that vision. When you have multiplayer, people are caring about how fucking high the character can jump, or how much damage a gun does. It's way more particular because competitive multiplayer is, yeah. Well, holy crap! I can't imagine a huge thing coming together with 200 to 400 people. It's interesting. A lot happens in the last month. You'll be looking at something that's what is this? And then a month later, it's whoa, this is like a game or something. Must be a hell of a thing to witness and be part of. For a while, imagine you're throwing darts with your eyes closed, because it becomes its own thing. Yeah. Alright, I like that the chat is just fast enough where I'm reading through stuff, but just slow enough where it's possible. Generally, sorry if I'm missing some of the stuff you guys are saying. The arena shooters will take off once Quake is out. It was Doom 2016 that really got the. I think Quake Champions is gonna limp a bit Whereas Doom 2016 was a fucking solid hit, and if they just need to keep doing that. Like, seriously. A lot more people enjoy single player than they do competitive multiplayer. The thing is that, I don't know. I mean, that's not always the case, but I guess seems to be the case with first-person shooters. You'll have, if you have like a really solid single player and then you have multiplayer at the same time, and they're both pretty solid, it's like a winning formula. We need to get more people into Classic Doom. That game can be as hard as Dark Souls depending on the WOD you're playing. Sometimes my problem typically when it comes to the difficulty of a first-person shooter like Doom is that the difficulty can very sharply spike if you're not careful, and Dark Souls attracts a different kind of audience as well. That's one of the other things too, where when you die in Dark Souls, it's kind of like just part of the game. But if you die in a first-person shooter, people get upset and frustrated. It's kind of weird. I want to be guilty of killing the player a few times in this at least. But the thing is that even this isn't that hard. Like, I'm adverse to making things super difficult for no reason. So. Yeah, the multiplayer on Doom was terrible. But that's just because they didn't stick to the formula. I mean, not the formula, but they didn't try to make it its own, I don't know. It just wasn't very good. Like if it was as good as, I don't even know. Like, I don't know or understand it. It's like maybe it could have been really good under its formula and like just been good on its own and stood that way, but like it just didn't it wasn't Doom. Like, I don't know. It was a weird thing, man. I get what they're trying to do. They're excluding the classic Quake Arena players by doing so. Most Quake Live people dislike the champion system a lot. I'm working on Slaughter Map currently. Gonna have lots of dead players. Yeah, imagine. Just do like a compilation of watching people play it and die. I think a lot of people are, like people are a lot more particular when it comes to competitive multiplayer, whereas you have a little bit more leeway to have like fresh ideas when you're working in single player. And then single player garners a larger audience, and from there, then you're able to like you have a little bit more leeway with the multiplayer. I don't know. I think that. You know, there's pluses and minuses to going either direction. It's just right now, when I see people talk about arena shooters, the only thing they think of is Quake 3. And it's like a Reflex or an Unreal Tournament clone. And UT4 could really use some single player, especially like this. If it had like some kind of loot-based leveling system and all that kind of shit going on, and like levels that are hand-built so that you like kind of go through like, and UT could explore a little bit more of Planet Nali. Like you have Unreal as a base to work with, and Unreal was a fantastic game. Look at the formula, you know, look at how Unreal was. Unreal was breathtaking for its time and can still easily be a breathtaking experience. You know, maybe semi-open world or something like that, because Unreal's best content was definitely the larger open levels where you were able to kind of explore around, and the Scar were fucking badass to fight, and like there was kind of a story, like you wanted to get off the planet. Like, man, they already have all these really difficult things figured out. They need to make a sequel to the first Unreal, and then use UT4 as the multiplayer for it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, the thing is like, I can just rant about this forever. Sorry. I like the champions in Quake as well. 800 enemies and 123 are in the first area. Oh my god, dude. Like, I made a map that's like 2 hours long. Has like a, I don't know. I can't remember what the part time was. It was 40 minutes or something like that. And it didn't even break. It didn't even break 1,000 enemies. Maybe? Jesus Christ. The free-to-play Ranger is really good on its own, so I think he's gonna balance that. Maybe. There's nothing you can really get around it though. There's a serious problem when it comes. There's a serious problem when it comes to free-to-play, pay-to-play. When it comes to competitive multiplayer and any kind of microtransactions that aren't just cosmetic. And I mean, you could dance around it a lot, and you can kind of justify things, and you can, but ultimately, the guy who paid the money, you could just pretend in your mind that Quake is a buy-to-play game, and just leave it at that. I mean, that makes sense, right? But you do need to buy the game. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And I will. If I haven't already. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I've been so focused on this lately. I need to. Maybe I'll do streams of me actually playing and stuff. But I'm not super good at multiplayer. So whatever. The last section looks so epic. So many projectiles in the air, like watching Star Wars space battle, only not in space. Are you talking about Redemption of the Slain? Or are you talking about your map? So when could you give me a viewpoint on what I have going for my arena shooter? Anytime, honestly. I do need to focus on this at the moment, but like after I get off the stream, shit, I'll talk to you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. No reservations. In fact, I probably should just be sitting in a TeamSpeak thing right now. Like, I don't know what the restrictions are, and I don't think I have too much to worry about right now because there's not that many people surrounding me at the moment, so I don't have to worry about trolls too much. So I could probably just be chilling out in a Discord channel or something like that, and you guys can just talk to me in real time. Let's see. All right. This is a little bit more difficult because I got to get the rotation correct. All right. Wonder why it's sideways. That was funny. Oh wow, 6 people? I could try. Yeah, I could try your slaughter map. What's it called? That would be super valuable. Not recommending using. It's just classic Doom. All 7 of us in a Discord channel right now. Yeah, I mean, it would at least be entertaining. I can't imagine how chaotic it would be. Okay. Wow, wait, did this just like line up on its own? What'd I do for this magic to happen? I don't think it lined up. Can't possibly have lined up. Paste. It did! Fucking did. I like it when shit just works. Alright, so one of the criticisms of the level, sorry, I'm focusing for a second, but I'll trying to find my details for the channel. I don't know how to use it, this program. Oh, Discord. Okay, since I'm not like super good at coming up with names, I'm working on a map series of random maps called MTM, my test map. My test map. So this is my test slaughter map. Oh god, probably gonna get my ass destroyed. So I'll like watch like BZ Plasma, and you'll play. You'll just like trudge through a slaughter map. Like he just survives somehow. I don't know. Okay. Let me. I think I still have my team speak. I'll write that down for at like. I'll try and set that up for like after the stream, and see if I could set that up like. The problem with VZ is that he saves mid-fight. Yeah, that cheater. That saving cheater. I don't know. It's like if he didn't do that. By him doing that is like one of the smartest things. Because the stuff that he plays through is so brutal. Alright. I don't know, would you guys be interested in a Discord server? I don't know how it would be like, how crazy it would be though. Imagine it would be pretty crazy. Maybe I'll look it up. I'll see how it works out for other, see if like other streamers do that kind of stuff. So far, none of the streamers that I know of have ever even ventured into that territory. I wonder if there's a reason. There's probably a lot of reasons why. I guess probably one of the main reasons to worry about that sort of thing is that I don't know why I'm building this. I'm just building it right now. Is that people can like do stuff that's illegal, like they can like start like putting porn or something. Did you hear like porn going on? Get me banned. Of course, it would just be like audio porn, so it probably wouldn't get me banned. Let me see what you guys are saying here. I get owned by so many games these days. Could be just what the place needs. Oh, for the Discord server? For instance, I had to fight like 4 vials and a good 50 revs all at once. The problem was I used all my BFG ammo on the first row of revs. If I would have saved, I would. Oh man, Jesus. Dude, like that's just a sick amount of enemies. You can make an announcement page too. I would have been screwed. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Before reloading, the fight happened, and this time using the BFG on the vials made the map a good 10 times easier. Are these all static meshes? Yeah, these are all static meshes. I avoid the brushes in the Unreal 4 engine. I haven't been a fan of the brushes for a long time, and to me the meshes are just more useful when it comes to art. When I have to art it out finally. It's, I guess, kind of a personal preference thing, and it's something that I can get away with, but I normally wouldn't do this if I was working at somewhere. Like, if I was working at a place, I would just follow, the standard art pipeline, but when I have control over the art pipeline, this kind of a method works a little bit better for me. Mainly because the brushes in Unreal 4 are probably the worst brushes in a 3D engine. Like, Unreal has the worst brushes. Period. And I've debated this many times. I know I've had conversations with Alley Cat about this. multiple times now. Where basically like my impressions of the brushes is that the engine's really good at doing static meshes, just make the meshes better. Yeah. Reloading before the fight happened, and this time using a BFG on the vials made the map a good 10 times easier. Wait, did I already just read that? Are these all static meshes? Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, I'm starting to get behind here. You didn't like the brushes either? Discord is better than TeamSpeak, definitely. I prefer Discord. I was using TeamSpeak for a really long time. I don't know. 2D shapes editor for UT4, UT 2004. Yeah, well, it still has it. You have the 2D shape editor in this. Oh wait, no, the 2D shape editor might be different. You have a pen in this. You can draw. You can draw the shape of a brush in this engine. But to me, that's not as good as just having lots of separate, smaller objects. My philosophy on level design is that it's better to have lots of small objects that build up to a larger structure than it does to make one large structure with one object or a few objects. And the reason why is because when you need to change things later on, it's easier to marquee select a bunch of small objects, move them over a little bit, and do what you need to do. Have the engine stitch them together later on. Have you know, follow those, like make the engine better for handling that kind of stuff, and let the level designer have the freedom to make modifications to everything at will. When you start going down the direction of having subtractive and additive brushes and having like concave shapes as your building materials, you ruin things a lot, because now you can't modify that concave shape. Whereas two brushes can make a concave shape that works just as, it doesn't, you know, the player's not going to notice the difference. But for the level designer, now you can take them apart. You can move them around independently. It's better to have lots of independent objects than it is to have larger pieces. And it's also better to make sure that those independent objects adhere to some kind of file, like size. Whereas with brushes, you can drag a brush out and make a room some kind of weird fucking shape. When it comes time for the artist to fill it out, they have to like figure out some kind of weird wiggle magic to make the fucking meshes fit the shape. Whereas if you build the damn thing with meshes in the first place, it's much easier for the artist to work within those confines. And you might hear people say, "Oh, well, doing it like this is limiting," or whatever. But that kind of limitation is good because it makes the process overall just simpler. I've gone down this this discussion so many times, but I just think that brushes in general are bad. But there are good brushes and there are bad brushes, and Unreal has the worst, like by far the worst brushes. They're harder to work with. They have this dichotomy of like subtractive versus additive, which is totally unnecessary. It's just a mess, and take them out of the fucking engine. Like, they might have some purpose, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe they're super efficient for some reason, or something like that. But then I don't know. Meshes seem to be just fine. All right. So I've gone on that rant like a bajillion times. This is the pen tool. I know. Not the same, very limited. So much you could do before. These are impressive layouts. Currently, Epic is working on advancing the level design tools. I'm glad that Epic is doing that. Which will work by modifying static meshes in the engine. Hey, then, like, I completely agree by having, like, building the level out of static meshes that are placed more quickly, or something like that. Like, I can get behind that. I don't know exactly what their modifications are going to be, but as far as I know, is they're basically adding modeling to the engine, which again, Modeling is fantastic, but you then begin building the entire level with you begin building the entire level as one mesh or something like that, or an entire area or entire room is one mesh. Now you're building blocks or vertices and triangles. It's just, I mean, sure, it works, but meshes are just better. I really love BSP. I'm sorry. I mean, BSP is good in the Quake engine. It's good in Call of Duty, has pretty good brushes, but if you look at Call of Duty, like look at Call of Duty right now, like the most recent one, the World War II one that they're doing. It looks like a game that came out 10 years ago. I'm sorry. The geometry, everything about it. Maybe that's just the engine though. I'm like not cutting brushes a fair shake, but I don't know. I've gone on the same rant about the opposite actually. The uselessness of brushes, no problem. Different strokes. Especially for my game, it needs a simplistic style and flow. I mean, you can make a nicer looking level using a model, but for games like these, seems logical that static meshes would be better. I think they are. I've done a pretty good job with BSP only at the point I'm at so far in mine. It can be done, it's just a struggle and you gotta use the pen tool. Yeah. I think that's pretty fair. You can do pretty well with the meshes. I mean with the brushes in this tech. I just say if you bullet point all of the advantages and bullet point all of the disadvantages and make a comparison, meshes will come out ahead. Just using meshes all the time is with it. See, what I'm doing right now is flat planes with a triplanar grid basically, and that shows me like how things are lined up, and it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't, these meshes don't have lighting, so you don't have to worry about lighting the map when it's still a block mesh. And you can leave the lighting process for later on. Which, I mean, you could probably criticize that and be like, well, the level designer should be deciding the lighting, stuff like that. Fair enough. Alkaline. I've been tracking the improvement of UE4's level design tools, and it's improving pretty regularly. If they can get it up to the level of functionality of Hammer, I'd be pretty happy with it. Same. Hammer has acceptable brushes, whereas Unreal had, for a long time, unusable. Like, they weren't even usable. I don't even know how people were building maps with the damn things. It was like, wow, really? Some of the UT4 maps were built with these fucking things where you couldn't even see the change until you compiled the map. Like, these are the worst brushes ever. You can't even look at the level, you can't even look at changes until you compile the level. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, you could do a fast compile, but even still, like, what's the point? At that point, meshes are fucking way better. It wasn't even a contest back then. At least it's improving. Alright. Let me get a door here. Right now I'm just cleaning up the first level of Project Stray. This is the first real level. Everything up to this, leading up to this point, is the intro and the hub. So this is like the first of the 8+1 levels for the full game. Right? It's just me actually, so tons of mesh work would never end. Do you have a key system? The key system works like this. You see these things right over here? there's well, they right now they're just marked with a number and they're placeholder at the moment. But basically, you have battle system. You have battles, and whenever you complete one of these battles, you walk up to it and it like builds up a charge, and then the battle begins. And if you survive the battle to the end without leaving the borders, you kill all the monsters and everything like that. You get a progress tag associated to your character, and then that tag is what allows you to open up doors. So instead of keys, I'm basically having you do things. So like you have to fight battles and bosses, and that's how the keys work in this game. So you search around the levels for these things, and there'll be like battle arenas every once in a sort of kind of interdispersed, maybe about around an average, maybe 3, possibly 4 if there's an ending boss fight, in order for you to progress through the map. So it's kind of like keys, but it's a twist. It's a little bit different. Voxels don't work very well with animations unless each of the objects are separate pieces. So, I mean, you probably could do some stuff with animation, but what I'm doing is I'm basically separating each part of the character and then attaching it to either a skeleton or just points. Co-op is something I want to do, but the way it's going to be implemented, and it'll be a little bit further down. Like, co-op is something that I'm going to have to be like, maybe figuring out a way to like be making money off of this game. But the way the co-op will work is that the host is the one that determines like everything that's going on in the world, and whoever joins you, like you have a friend, maybe one friend, can join your game, and you're now like you're playing together, and he's helping you, and like he might be like level 10, and you might be level 2 or something like that. Like it, and you just kind of work together to kind of complete the content. So it's not like you're both starting a game together and like completing it together. You kind of are, but it's whoever joins your game is a helper, or is like is somebody who's helping you out. What if he weren't? What if the other person was placing in the monsters and choosing which ones and where to place them? I'm not even sure how I would implement that. That sounds like Left 4 Dead. That would be an entirely different game. Like, that would be a very different game. That would be actually versus mode in Left 4 Dead. I don't know if you've ever played that. It's pretty fucking wild. Oh man, brutal though. Let's see. I need to convert this into a door frame. Door frame, go! Oh god, it's scaled or something, or not. Oh no, it's not. It's just rotated and weird. Alright, so the feature that I'm adding today before I have the demo ready is New Game Plus. And the New Game Plus is going to go right here. Are the voxel models FBX? Yes. You can rig that stuff really easily. Yeah, you can rig it. It's just that it doesn't really deform very well. It's a little easier. I don't know. If you look at games like Trove, I think that's a pretty good example of voxels. There was another one, Cube World, had voxels. Typically the characters animate by having like separate pieces. And people putting bear traps in the map. I have actually wondered about. You just reminded me of something. I've always kind of wondered about the idea of having. You know how like they have all these open world survival games, right? Well, what if like people who buy the game, like if it was two different games, And one of them you're selling is a zombie simulator. You get to play as monsters that eat people. And the other one is a game where you're trying to survive in the open world, right? And ultimately, both games run. They're like two separate things, and they both, they both join the same server, and they're eating people. You're like zombie RTS thing going on, and you're just fucking with players, and the other one is like a first-person shooter where you're trying to survive in the open world. It'd be pretty funny. Looks super brutal. Look at natural selection too. Yeah. A lot of people still love natural selection. I see it pop up fairly often. Being an alien, outsmarting Marines. People in different realities. Like, what the fuck are they doing over there? Yeah, they detached the arms. Natural selection 2 has a high learning curve. I often am surprised sometimes when games with like really high learning curves can be so popular. And then you'll see something that like doesn't have a high learning curve and people just pass it over. Once you get a hang of it, it's nice. Or you have it deformed just fine. Let's see, was it with a bit of tweaking you could have low frame animations. Actually, if the voxels are high detail enough, which is something that I'm a little worried about doing because I wanna have lots and lots of enemies. Like, look at all these spawn points. Which honestly, I'm not really running into performance issues right now, so I could probably push it. But if the voxel character is high poly enough, or there's enough voxels, you can probably just rig the model correctly, and as a standard thing, and it would probably deform just fine. It won't be squares anymore all the time though. Like, the character would move his arm, and this would kind of like crush right here under the armpit, and it would be like, and if the character ever did this, you'd see some, I don't know, like a fan of. It would probably look a little strange. I imagine that it would deform just fine if you had enough voxels. I think that's one of the things that Carmack was experimenting with when he was talking about doing a voxel, a next generation voxel engine. I remember a little bit of that mess. It looked pretty crazy. It was really high detail. But the animation, like, I'm not sure how that would work. It would take a bit, maybe new technology even, to get that right. Hello, Monster Cat. Are you silent on me? A little worried Monster Cat might just spring a commercial. Copy. Paste. Alright. Got a doorway. Alright, so this is the last doorway of the demo right here. Alright. Now, this right here, I'm thinking of just not making it a doorway at all. But rather some kind of like, I might rework this. Wonder what I should do different though. Maybe just leave it as a door. It's probably fine. Get the door here. When I'm doing the arting process, I have the ability to rework the level design a little bit, and I might take advantage of that to kind of further improve things. Because this is only half of the level. The section that you can't get to is up here, and then there's supposed to be another. I want to do another section over here, which then reconnects to this spot here, and like this area is kind of like the E1M2. Kind of like fucked up secret area. It's kind of like that feeling that you're gonna get, and it's a little bit more mazy. Well, I can't go too mazy, but it's gonna be relatively mazy for a modern game. And then that opens up to over here, and then this is the boss arena, is over here. So most of the map is not in place yet. Well, a little less than half of the map isn't in place yet. And once I have this map in place, then what I'll do is I'll probably have a full art pass. Natural Selection 2 is a high learning curve, a bit of tweaking, animations. It would be so much work for a realistic, high graphics, detailed game. Yeah, they typically speaking, it would be impossible for me to do like a modern AAA first-person shooter FPS like this, because I would simply just not have the time. It would be impossible. Which is the fact alone that I can even entertain the idea of doing a game of like this is actually pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. Like, I'm doing everything except for the options menu, the sounds, and the effects. Everything's mine. It's not possible. Like, it hasn't been possible for a really long time. Yeah, Jibhard, man. That game looks fucking great. That also looks like, I mean, that game, I would love to play it. It looks like he's keeping things pretty simple. It's randomly generated. I wonder how good it is. Like, it just looks so polished. The art is beautiful. Hey, what's up, Jacoby? Man, Jibhard is looking really good. I am detaching the body parts right now. All the body parts are going to be detached, and there's actually multiple reasons why I'm doing that on the characters. One of the reasons is because I want to like potentially just have the body parts fall off when you shoot them. All right, I need to focus on this a little bit more, but let me see. Get some more doorways. Most of this has just been like fixing doorways. Exactly my struggle. That's why it's simplistic style with textures and detail. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm going with voxels. Like, I have voxels, I have oh. The ability to try and do this is just insane, honestly. Typically, if I was working on a AAA first-person shooter that was like a level this size, would probably take a month of just dedicated me only working on this. And that would just be the block mesh. Then I'd have an artist, like, I'd probably do like, yeah, I'd have a month to do a block mesh for about something like this size. And then I'd have an artist come in and then change everything. Change all of it. And then he'd give it back to me, and I'd have to like redo all the collision and make sure the nav mesh is working correctly, because once an artist mangles a map, you don't know what you're getting back. Like, people are gonna be falling through the world. People are gonna be like spawning in fucking collision. Critical annihilation split the limbs up in pieces, but they still had them connected, so nothing flies in the air. I searched Jibhard, and Devil Daggers came up. Devil Daggers looks pretty cool on YouTube. Gore! Filling in all the art shit would be the part that is just insane amount of work. The art takes like 3 times as long as the design. Because a lot of the design is just deciding what to do, where to put it. Like, an awful lot, a very large amount of the process is literally just making a decision and sticking to it. That's it. Like, so much of that is just relying on that like one aspect. It's actually pretty. It's amusing. Alright, anyway. Now this door has a progress tag on it. It's Battle 02. I'm gonna make sure Battle 02 is on this door. I'm replacing this one. Okay. I'm gonna put Jacoby, right now I'm cleaning up the first level of the game so that I can um make sure that it's functioning correctly and stuff like that because I haven't touched it in a little while. And I want to make sure that there aren't like issues, there are like holes in the world and weird stuff. Simple things that I need to just go in and fix. Um, and then I'm going to add New Game Plus to the demo. So when you reach the end of the content that's currently in the game, you walk into basically a trigger volume and it starts you over again. All the monsters, there's like harder stuff spawns and everything's higher level and all the loot. That includes the loot and stuff. And you get better loot too. So once I have that in place, the demo is ready to go. Like I'm not going to feature creep any more than that. I just feel like that one feature it would add a lot. And yeah, and then I'll release. I mean, technically, the download link was updated. You can play the current version right now that I uploaded last night. Oh, secret doors? Yeah. I want to have more secrets. I need to have more secrets during the art phase, and once I get things more in place, I can focus more on the gameplay. I want to have secret walls. I want to have more things like. Right now, the only two secret things that you can get are the blueprints for the Tri-Fire pistol and the Hermes boots. I want to have lots of stuff like that. Like you walk up to the edge here and you look straight down, and there's like a thing you could fall down on it, and that'll take you here, and then like it brings you back up here or something like that, and like that's where you can get like some kind of, I don't know, slug shotgun. The shotgun fires only one pellet, but it's really powerful. Stuff like that, and then you'll end up with so many blueprints. You have to kind of choose which ones you want to put resources into. That's the idea anyway. Like, okay, so you got Battle 02. Alright. I'll have to figure out what these symbols are going to be and stuff. I'm thinking of just literally doing kind of like Doom's. Like, you just have the texture that marks the doors that looks like red, blue, or yellow. Okay. Do you still have Unreal Ed 2 on your computer? Will you have a secret level? Yeah, I want to have one secret level in the first game. Honestly, what I want to do is kind of fuck around like what Terraria did, where you just keep adding more. But for the official content, like for the game, like if I get to a point where I'm like talking about this on a Kickstarter or something like that, I want to be like 8 levels plus one secret level, just like the first episode of Doom. And then, but what I'm gonna end up doing is like I'm just gonna keep adding more. Like it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like Terraria. That was one of the things I really liked about Terraria. There's some indie games where it's just like a new patch came out. There's like 5 new enemies and fucking like 30 new guns. What the fuck? I don't even know what to do with all this. Like, you go back to it and it's like almost a whole new. Like people are flying around now and shit. Like I want that. Like you start off kind of okay, I'm just killing stuff. It's like a Doom clone, and then like by the time you're like level 30 or something like that, you're fucking jetpacking to places, and there's enemies that can like shoot through walls or something. I don't know. Yeah, if there's any kind of popularity with this at all, I'm just gonna keep adding, just like more and more, and before you know it, it's gonna be a first-person shooter where like eventually everybody's fucking flying around, teleporting. Who knows? What the hell is going with Warframe? How much freaking content is there for that now? Oh god, Warframe is just jam-packed. There's like no way you can even do all the content. I don't even know, like, Warframe was just continuously adding more. That's a pretty good example of that as well. Let's see. I would love to be in a situation where it was kind of like 7 Days to Die or Terraria, where it's just popular enough and you just keep adding more. I would love to be in that situation. That would be so fucking cool. Let's see. And that's currently the infrastructure of the game anyway. Kind of set up to be that kind of a situation where there's just like a continuous adding of more stuff. Yo, Terraria patch, we added like 1,000+ items and like 2,000+ monsters. Hell yeah. Compared to Minecraft, where it was like when they added the Enderman, you guys remember that? It's like, holy shit, the Enderman is like, whoa, Enderman. And like Terraria was like, I don't know, the comparison was insane. We added so much shit to Terraria that we don't even know what to do with ourselves anymore. It basically becomes a shmup. Well, that is one of the things. You see, you kind of have to choose between a project like this and working at a company, right? I mean, I guess it really depends on where you work too. But this to me feels a little bit like a new paradigm, in that it feels like a new paradigm in that, like, there's a lot more power to the individual, which means I think a bigger company could do a lot more with fewer people working with Unreal 4 right now. I think that's actually fucking hell. That's actually true. You have a big company, like 250 people, you wouldn't even need that many people. Like, given the current amount of power that I have right now, just working with Unreal 4, I can't imagine what 250 people would do with this tech. Let's just pretend that they're all somewhat versed in the engine, like, and they all know how to use blueprints and stuff. Fuck. Ing hell. I don't even know how you'd organize that. Hold on a second. Mods are the only thing keeping Minecraft alive? You think so? I guess so. I got a confirmation. What's this? Anyone know? Well, just add more shit, Jimmy. Well, other than that, then it's a target 8-year-old audience. Yeah, which I think is such an amazing thing. Honestly, it's a whole nother rant. Because my 23-year-old bud on Steam couldn't put it down ever. It's enslaved him. The vanilla game. 7 people are watching. Wow. That's actually really good. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's pretty good. It's not, I'm not even playing anything. I'm just making something to play. All right, let's see. Oh god, if I keep getting more people to watch, I'll have to start worrying about trolls. I'll be able to look back and be like, Do you remember the time when everybody who was in chat was cool? I do. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Mod sort of changed that though. I want to see what all you guys are talking about. The kitties are the only ones that keep it alive. Well, Computercraft has an emulator now, also. Computercraft? So you don't know how to play Minecraft to use it? Wait, you don't have to use Minecraft. What's Computercraft? What the hell is Computercraft? Oh god, the smileys are getting rampant. That's a sign. Oh shit. That's fucking hilarious. Alright, let's see. I need a door. Not a static door. Make sure your rotation is just as weird with floating point variables that are too fucking precise. I'm just going with the flow on this one. Alright. Alright. Alright, got doors here. Alright, so we decided not to coddle the player, right? So, like, if the player decides to skip a fucking home point, that's the player's fault, right? What do you guys think? Because I'm on the fence about this. If the player decides... Alright, let me explain a little bit better so everybody understands. So, if the player decides to just, like, walk past a bonfire, let's just call it a bonfire because that's what everybody knows. It's a fast travel point. But if somebody decides to walk past it, that's their fault, right? Like, I shouldn't lock the door and, like, force them to do it. Actually, I think if it weren't for a mod, it would be in programming. Oh, Computercraft. That was Notch's... Okay. I think I vaguely remember, but I know so little about that project. The more complex version of that is Open Computers. That sounds insane. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with I'll try just coddling the player for now. It's home point 2. I'll put that here. You have to I don't know. I'll take the safe path for now and then I'll change it if somebody complains. I'll be like, alright, your complaint was the first vote. Oh wait, I can't do that. That's right. There's ways to get over here early. So I can't do that. And you might have a jetpack too. Yes, the game does have jetpacks. Just not yet. Not yet. But there's like jump modules that you can equip. They're part of the AP module set. So, I guess I won't be doing that. I might as well just not. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go over here all the way to this beginning section. I'm going to take this. These progress tags are gone. All right. So I already made the decision. All right. So TeamSpeak on stream. I would much rather use Discord because I already have a Discord server. I don't know how crazy it's gonna end up being. It's gonna be like an insanity. Yeah, I haven't even used my TeamSpeak in forever. Well, let's see. Maybe what I'll do is next stream, which will be tomorrow because I'm streaming every day now. I'll experiment with the idea of just leaving of just posting like my Discord server channel. That way we can set all that up. Have to have moderation though. Just have somebody just like start yelling like obscenities. I don't think I'm gonna be dealing with that kind of stuff yet. Not yet. I see it happen a lot with, but a lot of like other streamers, they just shrug it off. Like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so let's see. Discord works a lot better and is more user friendly. Share how to get there when you're ready for it. I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start the stream off. I'm gonna be starting the stream at 4, and till whenever. But I'm gonna just start streaming like regularly. I've been kind of getting into the groove of it and getting used to it, but I'm just gonna be doing it like a lot. And oh yeah, you want me to show the? Here, I can show you the other, like the opening level, the first things that you see in the beginning of the game. This is how the game actually looks when you're not in a block mesh. Oh wait, you just want to see like a light being dragged around? Alright, let me drag this. Oh, I turned off my tooltips. Wait, if I turned off the widget, I can't drag it. It's impossible. The shadows in this are beautiful. This engine is like, I'm casting shadows because I'm superior. That's Unreal 4. Everything's just how it works. Let's see, I can drag this light back and forth. Oh god, why has it got to show all of these lights? All right, hold on. Let me just drag. I'm gonna put a light. I'm gonna put a light. There you go. Of course, you're not really looking at normal maps. This is all just actual polygons. Make you movable. It's non-static. It's not trying to cast any like light maps. Yeah, there's actually something I noticed about the engine, or about Project Stray. The level you were just at, top down from up high, wide radius. You're thinking too small. I'm trying to survive. Thinking too small. Okay, so like, here's a. Oh yeah, I could show you the flashlight. The flashlight right here. So there's something that I did notice about performance in this game. When you go into the options menu, right? Actually, let me reduce ambient sounds a little bit because that's kind of loud too. Shit, I'm gonna have to make the default settings 50% for everything. Alright. There's this resolution scale. So like if I go into dev, you got the FPS counter. Now you guys can see the FPS counter. Alright. Watch what happens when I do this. Resolution scale. It went from 60 to 80, right? That's a huge boost in fucking frame rate. But the biggest boost is shadow quality. This isn't even a joke. Like, so if you do both resolution scale and shadow quality, and this shit'll run on a toaster. Of course, it makes it look really blurry. Oh, I can't even play. All right, let me get back resolution. Anyway, exit game. You should have an option for this sunlight. Oh, where it makes it look even more classic. Well, right now the options menu, this option menu that I got hooked up right now is like thorough as fuck. There's so much shit in this thing, and it's like already hooked up. I spent pretty much all last night just hooking this up, but it's like there's settings for everything. Like you can change fucking all kinds of shit. You can change your mouse sensitivity on horizontal and vertical, X and Y. It's like I don't even ask. I didn't even ask for this. Yeah, all the key bindings for everything in the game. Like the only thing is I'm not sure what to do with this stuff yet. Like I have to probably clean this out because people are gonna be like, "Hey, look, my radio button. I wonder what that does." Doesn't do anything. All right. I have a. Where's my auto pistol, man? I want to blast some bitches. Where the hell is my auto pistol? There's an auto shotgun. Alright, I'm gonna blast some bitches. Oh, wait. Little bit of SMG. I feel a little overpowered. Magnum? Alright, you want the Magnum? Hold on a second. Where are you? Sniped his ass. He blew up his buddy. A level 3 Magnum's gonna make short work a lot of these guys. You should have way more POW. Copy the flare gun from Killing Floor. I have to see the flare gun from Killing Floor. Oh yeah, I have a new death. I have this like really brutal and fucked up death now. It's so brutal. Like it doesn't even give you a chance. You'll be like kind of getting chip damage down, and it was like boom, you died. Let's see. Give me an assault rifle. Also, too, that fixed the bug. Having the death animation fixed a bug that was bothering me. Is that every once in a while, you would teleport, like your when you go back to the wherever it is that your home point is, it would place your death item like underneath you, and you wouldn't have to worry about going through the world to fix, to find it again. So I ended up fixing that. Like, so now your shit is always in a valid location when you die. A flare revolver? Yeah, there's something about these super simple voxels and these hyper-realistic sounds has really satisfying explosion effects too. Don't forget about that, and extra blood make it. Once the enemies have like death anims, not animations, but like ragdolls, and they fall apart when you shoot them. I think it'll be, this is up for you guys to decide, but I think it'll be like really like satisfying. It'll feel pretty good. It'll feel like, basically Brutaldom. Bravo, you have something special here. That YouTube link will show you the flare revolver. You posted a link? Oh, okay. I'll copy that in. I'm not gonna look at it right now because I actually have to make some headway here. I got this doorway here. I think I've got essentially most of the stuff I need. Yeah. Alright, just gotta make sure that I'm not missing anything. Also, too, if you guys have ideas for unique items, I will put them in. And, like, cool names for them and stuff like that is probably a good thing as well. I want to have... I don't know how many I want to have for the entirety of the first 8+1 levels. 1 secret level, 8 levels. But I want to have maybe 2 or 3 secret items per level. Just like hidden in behind doors, in weird corners, and stuff like that. Some of them not even that secret. Some of them just kind of like out in the open. I want to have like a plethora of like, you know, you have like a shotgun that's a little bit different stat wise, and you'll be able to kind of customize things, and they'll have their own mesh because it's easy to make the meshes, and a lot of them will just be modifications of existing stuff. Like you might get a mesh like a version of the shotgun where instead of like a wooden stock, it's a, you know, it's all like dark metal or something like that, or maybe it has like fire on the side of it or something. Real simple stuff. You don't like you think Brutal Doom's weapons feel lazy? They feel really good to me. Honestly, a lot of the Brutal Doom and Project Brutality, the weapons tend to feel better than a lot of AAA first-person shooters. I don't know. To me, there's something about it. It would be interesting to see like a Rainbow Blood mode. Never in my life did I expect it to read something negative about Brutal Doom. There's a lot of people who hate Brutal Doom. I actually, I think I was supposed to get a Keiko award or a Keiko Demon award or something like that for a Keiko award for Redemption of the Slain, but it was controversial. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. If it does happen, that'll be really cool. Or if it already has, nobody's informed me. That sucks. But since I supported Brutal Doom, it was controversial. That kind of sucks. Well, I can't give you mine, but I still think you should have traps placed discreetly the player has to watch for. I like things like that. I like things where there's a hint on the floor, like there's a floor plate. You stepped on it. It's your fault. Now an exploding barrel fell on your head or something. That's also a very Dark Souls-y thing. You're gonna see a lot of nuances from Dark Souls in this. If you don't already see them, you're gonna see more. So yeah, there will be like darts being shot from the walls and stuff like that. Project Brutality's weapons feel pretty good. I think so. I think they feel really good. What? I'll have to play Red Zone. I'll have to play your mod again. I mean, I played it last time. Has it changed very much since the last time I played it? Maybe I'll play it during stream. Like, just dedicate, like, a block of the stream to that. And just play it. Let's see. Alright, make sure I get a door in here. I gotta do it. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep making doors. If I could just make doors. Alright, ooh. Weird stuff happens when you turn a wall into a door. I don't know. Actually, one thing that's kind of I like this area, but I wish it wasn't the only area in the game at the moment. It sucks. This is a good area, but it's like it's sort of a transitional to like go to a next spot and kind of makes you think a little bit, but it also has a weird loop to it that isn't really typical. Like if you decide to go up this way, you jump up on this. There's a rifle. That's a rifle case right up there. So like if you want to get your rifle right away, you can go up this way. Then you come up here, you fight stuff, and then the way forward is through this door, but it actually leads you back around, and you end up here again. So it's kind of like there's two different ways to go. If you go straight, you'll just go through it, but you'll miss this whole section up above. And then I kind of like have a chain gunner guy kind of like poking at you when you try to go through the doorway to kind of say, hey, you missed stuff, man. There's stuff up here. So some players will probably just like run through and just like get to this point, and then they'll start to kind of struggle with this fight because they didn't get any of the cool shit that's up here. I don't know. Which is probably fine, right? Like some stuff I'm not sure about. Like when it comes to players navigating, I'm never sure because people tend to navigate in different ways, different habits. I wonder how many people will actually just continue forward. I'd actually like to see people playing this once I get New Game Plus in. I want to see people actually playing. Just make sure you pick the right class at the beginning. Oh, are you talking about Dark Souls? I'm actually going to do classes, by the way. I have it already set up. Currently there are, but they're not like drastically different with each other. They just have different stats, but you can choose between the Enforcer, the Scout, and the Soldier. And the Enforcer, Scout, and Soldier are different stat-wise. The Enforcer, that is the Doom guy. Yeah. So how did that get in there? What's that game? I don't know. I don't know what this is. I modify your health. Like the Enforcer has much higher max health. He actually starts off with armor even when you don't equip any armor. Yeah, he has 25% just standard armor, just at baseline. Like even if you have nothing equipped. So he's a pretty beefy dude, but his movement speed is 200 points lower, so he's going to be a lot slower to move around. He doesn't have any special jump, but the Scout has a double jump, and he moves fast, a little too fast actually. I don't like how fast he moves. You're working on an ACS menu system? Here, I'm going to copy that link so I can watch it later. The right class in my mod. Don't pick Marine. Not done yet. Still remnants from old code and breaks things. Oh, sweet. Are there perks too, like in Borderlands? There's not perks. What I have is basically the classes represent your base stats. This is currently what I have. And in one case, Scout gets double jump by default, like, and you move really fast, but your health is lower and you're a lot squishier. I don't know how I'm going to rebalance this stuff. So basically, character creation will involve you picking between one of these classes and like naming your character and giving it a gender, you know, male, female, and like what else, like maybe a starting weapon like a pistol or auto pistol, or I'd probably not give you an auto pistol, stuff like that, and then like and then you just basically start the game off that way. Now Dark Souls is way fucking more depth. What I'm doing is like really simple. Terraria simple kind of like stuff. You know, maybe you'd be able to pick like what kind of head, body, arms, and legs and feet your character has, or something like that. What two genders? But there are. I don't even know what that number is. That'd be really funny. You just have that. I'm just gonna add the, you know, like you pick like male and female, and then just leave it at that. Like, but I wonder if I'll get complaints from people who are like, you don't have a Xur. You don't have Xur in your game. Like, what happened to your attack helicopter? I'll probably get that. That'll probably be trolling. That'll be fun. But I mean, it'll just be like a really standard character creation. Anyway, I gotta get, all right, I'm gonna get a door in here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard to remember where I put everything. There's so many folders. The fucking game just expanded. Alright. Alright. Alright, I think that cleans up the doors. There's no more holes in the world. Alright. And... what happened here? What did I do? I deleted a wall for no reason. Why is a wall deleted? See this shit? This is why. Why stuff. I don't know what. Something unrelated. Something unrelated. Alright. I saw that you followed TJ on Twitter, so I knew that you enjoyed this joke. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm a YouTube advocate. I watch pretty much everything. A lot of the skeptic community, if you will. Big part of my time is spent just sort of listening and deciphering these different kinds of conversations, points of view, and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with a lot of YouTube stars. This is a door. Does the only special setup that I need for the door? Oh, you mean like have the just put the door frame on the door blueprint? At first I was adverse to that. Maybe it makes sense to just go ahead and do it because it's not like I'm going to be using this particular door mesh. Like at first I was thinking that I would have different door meshes. But the way things are going, I might actually just make different doors entirely. So yeah, you're right. I could probably just plop that on there and just like fix that and not have to worry about it ever again. Make sure these doors are lined up. I'm trying to remember if there was another thing. I guess having the door frame as part of the door also makes it a little bit easier for me to have like some kind of symbol or some kind of lighting to indicate whether or not the door is locked. You know what? I'm going to take that suggestion right now. Yeah. Armored Skeptic, Sargon. I listen to TJ sometimes. Lots of Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. I don't know. Pretty much anybody who would be sort of in that scene, and pretty much anyone who's around that sort of around it, like Chris Ray Gun and like Shoe on Head. I mean, if you listen to Armored, you probably know about Shoe on Head. I watch Stefan Molyneux sometimes, actually fairly often. It's just interesting to hear what he says. He's a neocon at heart, so I don't know. Sometimes you'll say stuff that's really smart, and then every once in a while I'll hear that neocon come out, and I'm just like, I don't agree with your points. Alright, let's see. I probably went way too political. I'll bring that back now. Let's see. Alright, I got this. You know what? Alright, I'm going to follow your suggestion on this. DP dude? Dragon Punch? I'm currently watching through the 24-hour stream with Billy. Dragon Punch? Wait. Obviously that's not Dragon Punch. DP? Who am I thinking of? Oh, Drunken Peasants. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't listened to too many of the podcasts. Actually, they're usually very entertaining. I'll have to do that. It's actually been a little while since I've watched. I usually just watch TJ's separate videos, but a lot of the time I kind of have started sort of veering away from like your typical like ponage videos because I've already heard the arguments. I already know. I get it. You know, so sometimes I'll hear somebody like complaining about some video somebody else put up, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I know. I've heard this before. It's like it still needs to be mulled over. I could probably go into more detail about that. Let's see. Oh, is it graphics? Alright. So now that that's in there, I have to go and delete all of the door frames that are faked. But this pretty much actually does free things up quite a bit. Where have you been, brother? Yeah, last time you were like, because I liked Fallout 4, we have something in common. I guess we probably do have a lot in common, actually. Probably have a beer together. Kind of situation. One of those things. Alright, let's see, I can get this. Now that I get this doorway in, I got a whole bunch of other doorways to delete. Now that I just did that, I'll have to hide, delete. Alright. Hide, delete. This is the highest APM I've maintained during the entire stream. Alright. I'll check chat in a second. I think I saw things moving over there. Alright. Now I gotta do, what is it? Unhide all. Visibility. Show all actors. Okay. So as per your suggestion, I have followed through. That was pretty quick, actually. Alright. So now all the doors are set up. I'm trying to remember what else I need to do, because I know I need to do at least one more thing. Let's see. I like teddy bears. You like teddy bears. I like ponies. You like ponies. You think I'm a brony? I'm not against it, but it's, yeah. That can go pretty far. I think there's a fringe sect of the bony brony ideology that it's a SpongeBob reference. All right. Okay, so now that I got that all set up, I'll have to... Alright, the walls are set up. The dark paste doors and wall. Add the ending. Okay, so add the ending to this map is... The New Game Plus feature. That's gonna be rough. Let me see if I can run through the whole level. I'll be over geared. The doors won't look right color wise because they're all like lit. But I'm gonna submachine gun my way to the end of this level. Make sure all these doors are working correctly. All right. There wasn't anything that I hit out this way. Okay. So this seems to be working. Got all this going on. This gun just fucking rips face off. Okay. Was there any testing? Yeah, actually, I gotta go back. Alright, so this opens up. Look at all that experience points. Alright. Alright, this seems to all be working. I didn't break anything with this. Your box levels look better than my levels. They do. There are different rarity levels. They're just very rare at the moment. So like you'll every once in a while you'll see greens. You'll see blues. Very rarely you'll see a blue. It's a little too rare maybe right now, but the idea is that part of the crafting system is if you do hit a level cap. Okay, this door's locked. I gotta fight. I gotta do this fight in order to test that. If you do reach a level cap, the only way to progress will be to use the crafting system in order to continually make all of your items higher and higher quality, which means you gotta grind loot. You have to grind like credits, and you have to grind crafting materials so that you can keep building them up. It's kind of like Destiny. Actually, I can't safely say that because I'm not 100% sure I know how Destiny works, but I would say that it's closer to Diablo, maybe, not really. I don't know. Actually, what is it closer? It's probably closer to the Division, maybe. This is the level I'm most proud of since I actually thought how a player will play it. I'll have to put that link in. Yeah, I wonder why, well, I guess I can make some guesses as to why YouTube is so strict about that. I got a railgun. Ooh, Berserker body armor. I'm using that right now. Berserker increases your attack power, but it reduces your max health. It's a good set. Using the crafting system, I could probably convert all of my other vanilla armor into a full Berserker set. your damage goes up so much, but like you become so vulnerable. All right. Oh, I'm using the lightning gun. I forgot that I had a lightning gun equipped. Oh. Why is that door open? I guess because there's dudes in front of it. Alright. That's the lightning gun. The lightning gun is really powerful. It runs out of ammo very quickly. What did I get? I got level 7 submachine gun. I'm still level 4. Fuck. Alright, I just fight through this area here. Out of ammo. That poor bastard up there. I keep forgetting about him. He has like no... He's like really a low level. Look at a level 4 minigun. Alright, so a level 4 minigun. I just equipped that. It's much better than this one. Level 2. A light machine gun. Double barrel. Oh, I could have been using this the whole time. Alright. Okay, and this is where the New Game Plus would be hooked up right here. Alright, so I need to think about that. So basically, I can allow the links. Yeah, I should probably just allow them. I'll look through the options. I'll look through it tonight. A lot of these links I'm just putting into a text file so I can check them out later. Okay, so that's pretty much the enemies right there. I mean, that's pretty much the cleanup that I needed to do. So, that puts pretty much all of my focus on New Game Plus. So, if I can set up a system right now that, I have to think about that though, like, so basically, I need a new object to place into the world. So, I'm going to go into levels, or is it world entities? Take this. Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to be doing a lot of work with that. I need a new folder here. NG Plus. So this is going to be an object that you place in the world. And I guess it'll do its thing. Basically, it's going to change a couple variables in the player controller, right? Um, so I'm gonna have to have some new variables in the player controller. So I need to have the player controller open up. Okay, I got this set up. All right. So it'll be a couple of variables that I need on the player controller, and then I need to have access to all of the spawning and battle. So what is the battle? No, actually, it won't even be the battle because it's all housed within the spawning system. So interactive spawns already work correctly. Interactives are the like exploding barrels and stuff. So, so loot spawn and so the way I had it already set up before in the beginning was I checked the game mode, but I'm gonna ditch all that. I was checking the game mode to see like the new game plus because I was always planning on having a new game plus. I just wasn't thinking that I'd be doing it this soon, but well, it's just not the case now. I need to have. So right now there's the first check is when it spawns. It actually doesn't look at the game mode anymore. No, there's the game mode there. Alright. So that's NPC spawn. But this also has to affect force spawn. Alright. This will be interesting to think. I might actually, you know what? I might actually need to go grab a bite to eat and think about this. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is you walk into a new entity that I haven't created yet, which is in the new game plus folder. So I'll give it like a unique look, maybe a shader, and it have like a message on the front of it is like enter, begin new game plus. You've reached the end of the content. I guess that's pretty much conveyed automatically with a new game plus feature. And then all that does is it changes a couple of things about the player controller, and then I just check to see. Rather than check the game mode, I check the player controller, and that'll be it. I think the new game plus will actually probably work pretty much out of the box, except for one thing. I lock loot level at specific level, and I'll have to make sure that loot level locking works on the same variants. So when I do spawn loot, right now this checks game mode, but if it's a loot level, if I lock the loot level, that's so like I can make all of the items in a loot case like a specific level, and then there's no variance. Whereas normally it's like you can get like a level 7 submachine gun when you're only level 3 and stuff like that. it looks like I locked the loot level, and then I force set it to what it's supposed to be. That just means I need to catch the variable. Yeah, the lock level. I just need to catch the lock level and modify that before I do this. Easy. Alright. I need food. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. I will be streaming again tomorrow, same time. I think I'm gonna end the stream a little early today. Last night, I guess. I mean, it's like over 2 hours, but I'm going to be hitting this really hard, and I'm gonna get New Game Plus in. Once New Game Plus is in, I'm gonna release the demo, and maybe play it from start to finish on stream and stuff like that. I'll also check out you guys' links that you put up, because there was a bunch of stuff here. And let's see what else. Yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for chatting. It was fun. It was actually really fun. Alright. Catch you later, guys. I think I'll end it right now. And take it easy. See you again soon.